What if the strongest hero in history faced the undisputed king of curses? Today, we read diving into a battle that would shatter dimensions. Saitama from One Punch Man versus Ryomen Sukuna from Jujutsu Kaisen. This isn't just a fight, it's a clash between limitless physical power and the pinnacle of cursed energy. Who would win? Let's find out. Our story begins in the unassuming streets of City Z. Suddenly, the sky tears open and a vortex of pure malice appears. From it, Ryomen Sukuna emerges, a sinister grin spreading across his face as he senses the millions of souls ripe for the taking. The air itself grows heavy with cursed energy, and nearby buildings begin to crack and groan under the sheer pressure of his presence. Just as he's about to unleash chaos, a calm voice cuts through the tension. Hey, can you not destroy the discount market? They're having a sale today. It's Saitama, holding a bag of groceries, looking mildly inconvenienced. Sukuna glances down at the bald man, amused. Kneel, human, he commands, and I might grant you a swift end. Sukuna doesn't wait for an answer. With a flick of his wrist, he launches a massive dismantle slash, an invisible blade of cursed energy that effortlessly bisects several skyscrapers behind Saitama. The buildings collapse in a cloud of dust and debris. When the smoke clears, Saitama is still standing there, completely unharmed, though his signature red cape now has a clean slice through it. His bored expression shifts slightly. Now I'm annoyed. You tore my cape. Saitama winds up and throws a casual, ordinary punch. Sukuna, sensing immense danger, instinctively throws up a barrier of cursed energy. The impact is deafening, the barrier cracks, and Sukuna is sent flying back, skidding for 100 meters, his arms trembling from the force. He stares, shocked. A normal human punch shouldn't have that kind of power. Intrigued and enraged, Sukuna decides to stop playing games. He raises his hand, and the sky darkens as thousands of cursed flame arrows materialize, each one humming with destructive power. With a wave, he sends the fiery volley raining down. Entire city blocks vanish in explosions of white-hot fire, turning the landscape into a smoldering wasteland. But as the smoke clears, a single figure stands untouched in the epicenter of the inferno. Saitama dusts off his shoulder, looking utterly bored. That was flashy, he says. My turn? Before Sukuna can react, Saitama simply flicks his finger. The resulting shockwave is more powerful than any explosion. It hits Sukuna like a freight train, launching him backward with such force that he crashed through several distant mountains before finally coming to a stop. Struggling to his feet, bruised and bleeding, Sukuna knows this is no ordinary opponent. He grins maniacally, his bloodlust reaching a fever pitch. He forms a hand sign and utters two words, domain expansion. In an instant, reality warps. Malevolent Shrine erupts into existence, a terrifying structure of bones and darkness that stretches for miles. Within this domain, everything with cursed energy and everything without it is relentlessly sliced apart by an infinite storm of invisible cuts. Trees, buildings, and the very ground are shredded into nothingness. But in the center of it all, Saitama just stands there and lets out a big yawn. Is this supposed to hurt or something? It kinda just tickles. For the first time, a sliver of doubt enters Sukuna's mind. He's facing something that defies all logic, a creature that his ultimate technique can't even scratch. This isn't a human sorcerer, it's something else entirely. Realizing the true threat, Sukuna unleashes more of his true form. A second pair of arms sprouts from his torso, and extra demonic eyes open on his face. Black flames wreathe his body as he taps into his deepest reserves of cursed energy. With a single, monstrous slash, he cleaves the very ocean in half miles away, sending tidal waves crashing against the coast. Saitama, wanting a bit more room, crouches and gives a light jump. The force of his leap propels him out of the atmosphere, and he lands gently on the surface of the moon. He looks around, confused. Crap, not again. But he isn't alone for long. A tear in space opens, and Sukuna steps through, his cursed energy allowing him to manipulate dimensions. Floating above the lunar surface, he forms a blade of pure cursed power, a weapon larger than a mountain range. Die! He snarls, bringing it down. Saitama simply punches it. The colossal blade shatters into a million pieces like cheap glass. Before Sukuna can process this, Saitama follows up with another punch. It connects, and the impact sends a crack splintering across half the moon's surface. Pushed beyond any limit he has ever known, Sukuna resorts to a forbidden's power. He slashes not at Saitama, but at the fabric of space itself, ripping open a dimensional rift that begins sucking in asteroids and distant planetary debris. The void howls, threatening to consume everything. Saitama just looks irritated. Man, you're loud. He takes a deep breath and clenches his fist. Serious punch. The resulting shockwave is a cataclysmic event, a wave of pure force so immense it's visible as a flash of light from Earth. The dimensional rift is not just closed. It's utterly annihilated, erased from existence. With nothing left, Sukuna pours every last drop of his cursed energy, his very being, into one final, world-ending attack meant to extinguish stars. Across from him, Saitama crouches low, serious table flip. He slams his hands onto the lunar surface and flips. A continent-sized chunk of the moon is torn free and hurtled into the sky, colliding with Sukuna's ultimate attack. The explosion is silent but absolute. A blinding white light engulfs the stars, and for a moment, the void itself seems to vanish. When the light fades, we are back on Earth. Saitama stands in the middle of a massive crater, the one he'd made when he jumped to the moon. A few feet away, Sukuna lies broken but still conscious, a single eye staring at the sky. He begins to laugh, a weak, rasping sound. You are a monster beyond all understanding, he wheezes. Saitama walks over and casually offers him a hand. You can stay here if you want, he says. Just try not to destroy the supermarkets on Wednesdays, that's double points day. Sukuna looks at the outstretched hand, and a wicked, defiant grin spreads across his face. No promises, what an insane battle. Saitama's limitless strength versus Sukuna's absolute mastery of cursed energy. Who do you think would really win? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this epic showdown, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next crazy crossover. Thanks for watching.